My name's Tim Williams, mixologist for the chopping block, and we are going to make an old fashioned, super simple cocktail, and really, really easy to execute at home. All you need to make this cocktail are a jigger and a bar spoon, and that's really it. So what we're going to do is we're going to combine all of our all of our ingredients directly into our glass. Normally at a cocktail bar, you'd probably see the bartenders making them in pint glasses or in just like a really fancy looking mixing glass. That's a pretty big investment for sort of the casual drinker. Generally those can run you anywhere from 50 to 100 or more. So we're just going to do it right in our glass, which is not completely unheard of, so don't worry, you're not breaking any rules. So we're going to start with our bitters and our sugar and kind of let those combine really quick. We're going to use two kinds of bitters. We're going to use some aromatic bitters, and we're going to do 3 dashes of those. And then we're also going to do 3 dashes of orange bitters. The combination of the two really sort of rounds out the drink, and it makes it less about one flavor and more about a combination of flavors. Next we're going to use simple syrup. It's a little different. Normally when we talk about simple syrup, we're talking about a 1-to-1 ratio of sugar to water. This is a 2-to-1 ratio, and what that does is that allows you to sort of control the water content in the cocktail and keep everything sort of nice and dense and silky without adding a ton of water. So this is 2 parts sugar to 1 part water. We're going to add just about 1/4 ounce to the glass. And again, that's pretty much it for the base. Now we're going to add obviously the big flavor component, and the big kicker is the whiskey. This is a rye whiskey. I like to use ryes, and I like to use very high proof ryes for my stirred cocktails because there's really nothing else going on in the drink. You've got the bitters, you've got the sugar, and then you've got this. And so everything that you put in the cocktail has to have a really nice pronounced component so that they all sort of come together and they all sort of play their part. If you put something in there that's lower proof or already too sweet, like some American bourbons tend to be, you're not really going to get something that tastes like a good stiff old fashioned. You're going to get sort of like this kind of like muddy sort of. It's not going to be as good as something that's got some spice and some character and just like a good oomph. So we're going to add 2 ounces of rye, and we're going to go straight into the glass again. And then we're going to ice this down. Now what you're going to do here is you're not going to add the full amount of ice that you would add as if you were going to just go ahead and drink the cocktail. You're going to add just a few cubes, just enough sort of get like that glacier effect where there's a little bit of ice popping up over the top, but most of it's still submerged. And we're going to stir. And some people have a certain amount of revolutions that they like to do. It's all about feel. Eventually the glass will get cold, the whiskey will get kind of cloudy, the ice cubes themselves will start to get smaller if they don't, just completely melt away. And you're good. Now what you don't want to do is you don't want to overstir before you add the ice that you're going to actually, before you add the rocks that you're going to be drinking from, because at that point your drink will be too watered down. It's okay to understir a little bit in the beginning. So now we're going to add a little bit more ice all the way up to the top. And then our last little bit of aromatics, we're going to take a nice wide swath of orange, and you want to hold that peel side down. And you want to just pull the ends back so that you get that little burst of orange oil. You can go ahead and rub that over the top, sort of perfume everything around it. Give it a nice little twist. And then lastly, drop a nice brandy cherry in there. And there's your old fashioned.